3 Chinese humanoid robots just completely blew up the entire robotics world in the last 4 days of April 2026. TienKung 3.0 won the world's first fully autonomous robot warrior challenge. Honor Lightning shattered the human half-marathon world record by almost 7 minutes. And XPENG Iron looks so human it's already doing public catwalks with real synthetic skin. Today I'm giving you the ultimate no-holds-barred comparison so you know exactly which one is going to dominate 2026. Stay till the end. If you are new here, welcome. This channel is where you come when you want to understand what is actually happening in AI and robotics before everyone else even knows the story exists. Hit subscribe right now and turn on the notification bell because I drop deep dives exactly like this every single week. Let us start with the one that started this entire conversation, TienKung 3.0. Built by the Beijing Innovation Center of Humanoid Robotics, also known as Humanoid. And before I give you a single spec, I want you to understand what this robot actually did on April 18th, 2026, because the headline alone does not capture how insane it really was. A 3,500 square meter arena, packed with swinging pendulums that could knock you off balance mid-stride, narrow, unstable paths designed to challenge dynamic balance under real movement, forced barrier breaching that requires both physical strength and intelligent judgment about when to push and when to adapt, rough, unpredictable terrain that changes under every step, and obstacles scattered throughout that had absolutely no pattern and no predictable solution. This was not an obstacle course you could memorize. This was a chaos simulation designed specifically to break robots that rely on scripts or pre-programmed routes. TienKung 3.0 went through all of it alone. No remote control, no human operator feeding it commands, no preset path to follow. Just a robot deciding in real time how to move its body through a world that was actively trying to stop it. And it not only completed the challenge, it won, becoming the first full-size humanoid robot in history to take the top position in an autonomous robot warrior competition of this scale. Let that sit for a second. But here's the part that most coverage completely glossed over. The technology that made this possible is not just better motors or a faster processor. TienKung 3.0 is running WiseKai Wu, an embodied AI system that perceives the environment as a continuous stream of real-world input and makes physical decisions based on that perception in real time. This is the difference between a robot following a map and a robot reading the room. The robot is not executing a plan. It is thinking about what to do next based on what it is experiencing in the moment. Now layer on top of that something no other full-size humanoid has ever had: full-body tactile sensing across the entire surface of its body. When TienKung 3.0 grabs a bar or presses against an unstable wall, it is not estimating force through motor feedback alone. It is actually feeling what it touches with distributed sensors across its full frame and instantly adjusting its response. Think about what that means for a robot working in a real factory, where it might be handling fragile components or navigating machinery that is running and vibrating. The ability to feel is not a luxury. It is a fundamental requirement for safe, real-world operation. Its high-torque joints let it clear obstacles up to 1 full meter in height. It can kneel down in confined spaces, maintain stability on significant slopes, and absorb disturbances and recover balance the way a trained human athlete does, because the body is always making micro-adjustments based on what it is sensing. It runs on the ROS2 ecosystem, and Humanoid has open-sourced both models and datasets, making this platform immediately accessible for researchers and developers globally. This is not just a competition robot. This is an industrial platform designed from the beginning to deploy into factories, logistics centers, warehouses, and high-risk rescue environments where robots need to be trusted completely. That is what makes TienKung 3.0 the most significant of the three in terms of immediate economic impact. But now I need you to completely reset your mental model, because what happened exactly 24 hours later on April 19th, 2026 hit a completely different emotional nerve. Honor Lightning did not just win a robot race. It attacked a human record that athletes have been chasing their entire careers, and it did not just beat it, it obliterated it. The Beijing E-Town Humanoid Robot Half Marathon, 21.1 kilometers. Over 105 competing teams, including 5 from outside China. This was not a novelty event. This was a serious competition with serious robots from serious organizations, all trying to do something that still felt theoretically impossible at the start of 2025. Finish a half marathon faster than the best human ever has. Honor Lightning finished in 50 minutes and 26 seconds. Say that number slowly, 50 minutes and 26 seconds. The current human world record for the half marathon is 57 minutes and 20 seconds. Honor Lightning beat it by 6 minutes and 54 seconds, nearly 7 full minutes, on a robot that did not exist in its current form a year ago, running a distance that requires sustained cardiovascular output, dynamic balance management across thousands of strides, and the ability to handle mechanical fatigue over a long sustained effort. But here's what actually impresses me most about this story, and it is not the finish time. It is the pit stops. During the race, Honor Lightning made smart scheduled stops for cooling system management and lubricant application. Think about what this tells you about the engineering maturity behind this robot. The team did not just build something that can run fast. They built something that understands its own physical limits models when stress and heat are approaching critical thresholds and proactively manages its own condition the way a human endurance athlete manages nutrition and hydration strategy during a long race. That is not just raw speed. That is systems thinking inside a running machine. And the broader context makes this even more stunning. In 2025, robots in similar competitions were struggling to finish it all. Completion rates were low. Mechanical failures were constant. Fall recovery was inconsistent. 1 year later, over 40% of the 105 competing teams ran their robots fully autonomously without any remote operator involvement. The pace of iteration in Chinese humanoid robotics is not linear. It is exponential, and it just crossed a threshold that most engineers privately thought was still at least 3 years away. Now let me bring you to the robot that is doing something completely different with its ambition. If TienKung 3.0 is the robot you trust with the most dangerous work, and Honor Lightning is the robot that just redefined what physical performance means, then XPENG Iron is the robot that is trying to answer a completely different question. Not what can a robot do, but what can a robot feel like to be around. XPENG Iron comes from XPENG Motors, the Chinese electric vehicle company that has been quietly building one of the most sophisticated humanoid programs in the world. Standing around 178 centimeters tall and weighing approximately 70 kilograms, this robot is physically designed from the start to exist in the same spaces humans occupy without creating psychological discomfort. And that design philosophy runs through every single technical choice they made. The synthetic skin is flexible and warm in appearance, not the cold, hard polymer panels you see on most humanoid robots, but a material that moves naturally with the body beneath it the way skin moves with muscle. Combined with a bionic spine and bionic muscles that mirror human biomechanics in their range and quality of movement, XPENG Iron creates something that your brain processes differently than a machine. There is a warmth and a naturalness to how it moves that is genuinely unsettling in the most fascinating possible way because you know it is a robot, and your instincts keep telling you something different. The hand design alone deserves its own dedicated breakdown. 22 degrees of freedom per hand. Each individual finger joint controllable with independent precision. The result is a robot that can not only pick up an egg without breaking it, but can gesture naturally during conversation, can tie knots, can sort small components, and can interact through touch in ways that feel intentional rather than mechanical. When you see XPENG Iron move its hands during a public demonstration, your eyes keep trying to convince you that there is a person inside a very good costume. The computational backbone running all of this is 3 in-house Turing AI chips delivering 2,250 TOPS of raw processing power. For context, that is an enormous amount of onboard compute for an embodied system. It allows XPENG Iron to run its second-generation vision-language action model, which processes natural conversation, understands context, perceives its environment in full 720-degree spatial awareness, and translates all of that perception into smooth, natural physical responses in real time. You can talk to this robot in a normal conversational tone, and it will understand what you mean, not just what you said, and respond with appropriate physical and verbal behavior. All solid-state batteries replace the traditional lithium-ion designs used by most competitors. This makes the robot safer, lighter, and more energy-dense, giving it better operational range without the thermal management concerns that have plagued battery-powered robotics for years. XPENG has already shown XPENG Iron doing graceful fashion catwalks in public demonstrations, not as a gimmick but as a proof of embodied control quality at the most visible and socially observable level. And they are not waiting around. They are actively constructing a full-chain mass production facility in Guangzhou with a stated target of producing over 1,000 units per month before the end of 2026. That is the kind of production ambition that changes a technology from a research project to an industry. Now let us put all three side by side because you deserve a clean, honest breakdown before I give you my ranking. TienKung 3.0 is the clear winner in autonomous operational intelligence and environmental toughness. Full-body tactile sensing, Wise Kai Wu embodied AI, high torque joints clearing 1-meter obstacles, proven performance in chaotic real-world conditions without any human in the loop, open ecosystem for rapid third-party development. This is the robot that unlocks factories, warehouses, logistics, and rescue operations at scale. If you want to know which robot is going to save lives, process goods, and handle dangerous work that humans should not have to do, TienKung 3.0 is your answer right now in 2026. Honor Lightning owns speed and endurance, along with the psychological milestone of beating human physical performance at its own game. It finished the half marathon in 50 minutes and 26 seconds, nearly 7 minutes faster than the current human world record. With smart in-race self-management, it delivered massive proof of progress in dynamic balance and power efficiency over long distances. This robot didn't just win a race, it shifted the cultural goalpost on what humans now accept as possible from machines. That change in perception will influence robotics adoption for years to come. XPENG Iron leads in human-like presence, dexterity, and mass production trajectory. It features 22 degrees of freedom per hand, flexible synthetic skin, bionic spine and muscle movement, and 2,250 TOPS of onboard computing. With a target of over 1,000 units per month by the end of 2026, XPENG Iron is building the fastest and most intentional path to real-world deployment in retail stores, service environments, museums, and eventually homes. China is no longer catching up in humanoid robotics. That conversation is over. They are running a completely different race at a completely different pace. And April 2026 delivered a powerful 4-day demonstration of exactly how far ahead they have moved. Here's my final ranking, and I want to be fully transparent about why I landed here. Third place goes to Honor Lightning. The marathon record is one of the most dramatic moments in recent robotics history, and the engineering represents a genuine breakthrough in sustained dynamic locomotion. However, speed and endurance alone don't yet translate into the broad deployment value that industries need most in the near term. Second place goes to XPENG Iron. Its human-like design, advanced dexterity, powerful computing, and strong mass production commitment are all extremely impressive. XPENG Iron is the robot most likely to normalize humanoids in everyday human environments faster than any other project right now. Its path to retail, service, and home use feels clearer and more commercially ready. First place goes to TienKung 3.0. The honest reason is simple. True, fully autonomous intelligence that operates safely and reliably in dangerous, unpredictable real-world environments, without human supervision, is the hardest problem in robotics. It is also the one that unlocks the biggest real economic value the fastest. Factories don't need a robot that looks like a person. They need one they can trust completely. On April 18, 2026, TienKung 3.0 proved in front of the world that it deserves that trust. The future isn't about which robot runs the fastest or looks the most impressive on camera. The future is about which robot you can hand a dangerous or repetitive job to and walk away confident it will get done safely and correctly. TienKung 3.0 just answered that question. And that's why it sits at the top of my ranking today. Now tell me in the comments, which of these three genuinely excites you the most and why? TienKung 3.0 with its terrifying level of autonomy and chaos, Honor Lightning and the shock of a machine beating human athletes, or XPENG Iron and the eerie feeling of interacting with something that moves and looks disturbingly human? Drop your answer below. I read every comment. If this video gave you a clear, complete understanding of what just happened in Chinese robotics this month, hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss the next breakdown. And if you're wondering about real prices, deployment timelines, which industries will adopt them first, or how the rest of the world is responding, I cover all of that in the next video that just popped up on your screen. Don't close the app yet. The humanoid revolution is accelerating faster than anyone expected. I'll see you in the next one.